You're now live on Facebook as well.
We need more money to be wealthy. So my money works for me. I'm investing and I'm saving. Then I donate, give it back to
Good afternoon, and welcome to the World of Money, Black Wealth, Young Moguls edition. Hello.
Hey, I'm Russ Perfino, and if you're a coach, consultant, expert, author, or speaker, I have just one question for you.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Lamb, the founder and executive director of the World of Money, and we are excited to be here with you today as our moguls discuss this very urgent issue of Black wealth, generational wealth, financial education, and entrepreneurship. Joining us today is our moguls because it's very important that they not only participate in this very powerful mission, but also that they share with us and the world their very perceptive and brilliant insights. So first, coming to the stage is Nicholas Crawford, college student, as well as World of Money graduate. Followed by Russell Fearon. He's also a World of Money mogul, as well as graduate and entrepreneur. And last but not least, and driving the train is Monica Siome, who is also a real estate investor, entrepreneur, as well as owner and realtor. Please welcome to the stage, World of Money moguls. Take it away.
Hello, 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 everyone. Clap it up for yourselves. If you are joining us anywhere in the world, in the country, let us know where you are joining us from in the comments down below. Now, before we even get started with this awesome panel discussion with Russell as well as Nicholas, right now, drop it down in the comments below. Where are you joining us from? Let us know right now, where are you joining us from? I also wanted to know, who taught you about financial education? I have my notes here, that's what I'm looking up. So just let us know those things in the comments down below. So we have Russell with us, as well as Nicholas, and we are all World of Money graduates. Woo woo! World of Money in the building, and we're so excited to be partnering with the wonderful YWCA in Metropolitan Chicago. Thank you all so much for having us. So we wanted to get right into the information. So I wanted to toss it over to Nicholas, who is a huge advocate for financial education. And then I will follow that up with Russell, who is going to talk to us as the CEO of Shug X. And Patrick, we hear you. You want in with the World of Money. Well, we want in with you too. So we will be right with you. Thank you. So Nick, take it away. Let us know some questions, some information about why you are a financial education advocate and what your story is.
All right. Yeah. Hello. My name is Nicholas Crawford. I'm from Manhattan, New York. I'm 19 years old. I'm currently a freshman at George Washington University, and my major is business analytics. And yeah, so why is financial education urgent for our young people today? Oh my goodness, like it's such a pivotal question, especially right now in our current climate. But financial education is urgent for young people today because our schools don't necessarily place a large emphasis on the power of our dollar. And those who have been exposed to wealth understand that their dollar is their vote, meaning that the choices that they make as consumers directly impact that specific financial institution. So one of the best examples of this in like American history definitely has to be the Montgomery bus boycott from December 5th, 1955 to 1956. On December 1st, the secretary from the NAACP, Rosa Parks, was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white passenger. And her act of defiance was the catalyst for the Black community to spring into action. Motivated by leaders such as Martin Luther King and the Black community walked, organized taxis, and carpools to get to their destinations, accounting for 2/3 of the income of the Montgomery City lines. The bus boycott, all of that equated to 30,000 to 40,000 bus fares a day in revenue lost. So after an 11-month deadlock, the United States Supreme Court voted unanimously that the segregation of the Montgomery City lines was unconstitutional, primarily due to the ramifications of the customer's spending choices. So when I was younger, I had absolutely no idea about any of the stuff that I was talking to you about like right now. And when it came to money, I never really thought about it from the aspect of why should it matter to me.
What were some things that you were interested in purchasing when you were younger? Like what
definitely. J's, the latest sneakers, like Xboxes and stuff like that. My mother and I both knew that we couldn't afford all that stuff, but like I primarily gravitated towards those things because it made like the attention that I would seek from other people. That was like the primary reason why I did that. But at World of Money, I definitely gained an opportunity to think about money in a different way. And that's why I shared with you the little Montgomery bus boycott little anecdote, just to show how my mind has completely changed in my regards to money and how it truly is our vote. And yeah.
So how do you view money now? What is it for you now?
Definitely. It's realizing your own intrinsic and self-worth. And it's understanding that you have power in this world, even if you might feel powerless. You have the ability to choose what you want to do. And yes, it is a tremendous sacrifice to live this way, but it's something that's necessary and vital for the well-being of all of us.
Yeah. And honestly, I think what you said when you said it's an intrinsic personal thing, I can completely connect to that because, even for myself as a performing artist for a long time, for many years, and I still am, I'm a performing artist and a singer. And so I really connect to you when I valued things like, swiping my debit card here, swiping it there, and now seeing the value of money. So that's really why I'm a huge advocate for real estate. Like you said, financial education is important. And I think real estate is a huge portion of that financial education and what we need to be prioritizing and viewing. So I wanted to show everybody a quick video on what is real estate and why should we even invest in it or talk about it. So I'm going to share my screen with you all now. And it's a quick little video presentation to show you why we should all invest in real estate. So first off, let's discuss why buy real estate and what is real estate. So first off, real estate is an asset. It's a property consisting of land and the buildings on it. And did you also know that 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate? If you knew that, put it in the comments down below. Let me know down below. Did you know that 90% of all millionaires became so through owning real estate? Or at least 90% of them own some type of real estate. And the reason why is this. Real estate is the one asset class that gives you a high cash yield, equity, leverage, tax benefits, etc. in comparison to stocks, bonds, or cash. And the last slide is why we should all invest in real estate. It has to do with creating generational wealth, creating a legacy, creating cash flow, having a great life for your family, 401k, etc. So I'm gonna hit pause on this and I'm gonna come back. There we go. All right, so that was a quick thing that I wanted to put together on real estate. And just the main thing that I want to present as a takeaway is I bought a house in 2019. That house costs $450,000. $450,000 for this home. Now, what I chose to do is I chose to put tenants in that home. So every month, these tenants are paying off the mortgage. Now, does anybody want to guess what that same home is worth a year later? You can put it in the comments down below. A year later, that same 400, Trish, ding, 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 ding. You got it right, Trish Mead. Shout out to her. A $450,000 home that was purchased in 2019 is now worth $600,000. And what's amazing about that is I just added $150,000 to my net worth in 1 year through real estate. And that's the power, because on average, every year, the value of your home goes up about 5%. Imagine how much that home will be worth when my kids are born and when my kids have kids and their kids have kids, and we pass on this wealth through generations. And so the power is that I was able to buy this house with a FHA loan, putting only 3% down, which was actually $15,000, which is a lot of money, but I had to save. I saved, which is one of the World of Money mottos, and that 15 turned into 150. Can you imagine that? So I think I'm a huge advocate for owning real estate. The beautiful part of it is my rent, my mortgage, what I came out of my pocket with every month was $0. $0 because my tenants paid the full mortgage. And let me show you the power of real estate. The mortgage could be $2,000 or $2,500 a month, but if you buy a multifamily and you rent out each of the other 2 units for $1,500 each, you're bringing in $3,000 and your mortgage is $2,500. That means people are paying you every month to live in your place. You're living for free. And after 1 year, you just added $150,000 to your net worth, which is the most powerful thing that I think that more people need to know about. And it's a way for you to live for free. If you wanted to live for free, it's a way to build wealth. It's a way to have cash flow. You know, I could go hop on a plane right now to Florida, but at the end of the day, I know my tenants are still paying my mortgage and paying to live in the property that I bought. So I'm a huge advocate for real estate. And Russell, I want to flip that over to you. Let's talk about being a business owner. You know, as business owners, there's so much power in ownership. That's the key. That's the key that I want. If you've taken nothing else away from this panel, ownership is really the key. So Russell, talk to us about ShugX. What is ShugX? What do you do? How did you start?
Hello, everybody. My name is Russell Firman. I am the CEO of my own company, and I'm 22 years old. And well, first off, to Monica and Nicholas, amazing job, and it's a pleasure to be here with both of you. To all of my panelists, you are hearing some great knowledge today. And you know what, let's start off with this. Knowledge is power. Say it to yourself or say it out loud for me one time. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
So I'm gonna kick it to you like somebody said it to me one time. Multiple streams of income and controlling your own destiny, right? That is what all of us want. But it's a little harder than what you think. It's harder than maybe when you really think about it, it is a lot more difficult. but it's not. And that's what I'm here to tell you. So I began my own company, but it didn't just start from, I didn't just start here. It started when I realized I had a problem. So 2 years ago, I got extremely sick, extremely sick. And I had no clue why this was happening. And once I figured it out, I went to the hospital and they told me that I had type 1 diabetes, something that completely just changed the entire scope of my life. I was going one way and now I got to change it up and I got to start doing something completely different that I never imagined. Suffering is something that we all go through at some point in our lives. It's about framing it in the right mindset. And what I was able to do is take this gift of suffering and change it into something that is going to change my life and hopefully lives of people of my family someday. Let me share you a PowerPoint slide to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. All right. So we are SugX. SugX is a company that is building devices. We are innovating for people with diabetes, people like me, and we're changing their lifestyle. It started with a reason, it started with a why. And this is what I was doing every single day for years, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I would have to test my blood sugar 4 times a day. I would have to take insulin 4 times a day. And I do this by pricking my finger, right? Then I'm going into my kit and I'm taking out test strips. Then I'm going back into my kit and I'm taking out the glucose monitor. And I'm putting the glucose monitor into the test strips and then I'm touching it to my finger. And look how long this is taking and how embarrassing this can be when you're in class, when you are around people. And I'm realizing, okay, this is not the life. This is the life that was given to me, but this is not the life that I'm going to accept for myself. So what I did, I'm in America. I can do things. We are blessed where we can do things and make money off of it and enterprise. But mainly I wanted to do it for myself so that my lifestyle is not this lifestyle that I'm living. And you know what? I thought I was the only person like me, like myself. But you know what happened? I looked it up. 32 million people, 10% of the United States have diabetes. 1 in 3 people, which is even worse, almost have diabetes. They have pre-diabetes. They don't even know that they have pre-diabetes. So essentially, what I am telling you is that your problem is not only your problem, it's many people's problem. And you can find a solution. And I'm not saying that you have to, but you can find a solution. And I need you to believe that you can find a solution. So, all right, what I'm here to tell you is that all of this is possible. To me, there are 5 C's to becoming a leader, to being a great leader. It is character, it's knowing who you are, it's consistency, it's communication, commitment, and confidence. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that confidence, that last one, is the most important thing because there are many people who will not believe in you. There are many people who are going to kind of shove you aside. But you have to start with a belief in yourself. Do not rob yourself of an opportunity because you do not believe in yourself. Believe that you are good. Believe that you can get the job done. And I have many stories and I have so many things I would love to say. And
I had a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
What has been one of the biggest hurdles, as a business owner, as a CEO? What was one of your biggest things with even starting a business and creating a great business? Because I think the statistics show that the majority of businesses actually don't succeed after the first year or the first 5 years. And the numbers are even higher for Black-owned businesses. Black-owned businesses fail at a much higher rate than white-owned businesses. And a lot of it is due to, poor business management, poor money management. But how has money, financial education really helped you to sustain your business? And what even was a hurdle for you in all of this?
Absolutely. So being financially educated is so important for us Black people, for us Latinx people, for us minorities, because we have not traditionally had that in our lives, right? So we need to learn how to organize our money correctly. And we cannot, like Nicholas was saying, spend it on Jordans and spend it on the chains. And I have them. I'm wearing Jordans right now. And I'm not going to say that they are bad things, but we need to organize our money in our community for it to work for us. And that's what I'm doing. And as you said, most startup businesses fail, right? 9 out of 10 businesses, you are going to fail. But you know what? That's the last time I'm going to use that F word. You know why? Because that is not the end. That's a lesson that you learned. And I'm going to be, if that were the case, or if it is the case for anybody, I have a much further, because I started early, I can start with my best foot forward on my next venture. And I'm going to take that knowledge and make my next venture that much better. The biggest hurdles that I see is honestly starting. I'm not going to lie, because when you're feeling, you might have a feeling of, why me, right? That's kind of how I was. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, come on. And sort of just accepting it. But once you realize that, okay, this is the reality, but it doesn't have to be the future, that is when kind of the ball starts rolling. And so starting is the hardest part.
Yeah, I would agree that you are your own solution. You are really your own solution. Nick, what were you going to say?
So do you have any, just kind of changing gears, but like would you have any financial advice for, let's say the younger crowd, or just financial wisdom in general, honestly?
Yeah. Did you say save?
Save.
I love what you just said, Russell, about just starting and about saving. One of the things that I've learned the most from Worlds of Money, as well as just in life, is there's so much value in delayed gratification, because it takes discipline to save your money. When I tell you that it is so easy to order Uber Eats and get that food delivered to your door, but to have some discipline and say that, you know what I want further down the line is worth more than what I want right now. And some people are like, let's go out to dinner, let's go out to hang out, or let's just go here or there. And I said, no, I have a goal, I have a mission to save $15,000. That's a lot of money. And that $15,000 grew to 150. So I think there's so much power in that delayed gratification and that discipline. And like Russell said, for everyone out there, just start. When I tell you, buying this house has not been the easiest thing. Just the other day, the tenant told me their roof was leaking, and I was like, what? And the biggest thing that I've learned about as a landlord and as a real estate investor, you got to be a problem solver. You have to solve problems. Okay, it's so easy to be like, oh dang, their roof is leaking, but it's like, are you gonna be a boss or are you gonna be a punk? You gotta be a problem solver, and you have to just start. And it really does take a lot to get it off the ground and to be disciplined. But if you want it, then you gotta work. You gotta just start. You gotta make it happen and problem solve. And one of the how this connects back to financial education is most people's issues that they work until they're 65 to retire. How do we solve that problem? Unless you wanted to work till 65 and retire. I mean, that's, but like, how can we solve the issue of financial independence and not relying on other people for our paychecks? If we save and invest our money, there could be a level of financial independence for all the young people out there in your 30s, or even in your 40s or your 50s. There's no need to wait till Social Security at 65 to live a financially independent life. And it starts with starting. It starts with starting and saving and creating these avenues for Black wealth, for residual income, for things like that. Trish just asked you, how did you Russell, how much money did you need to start your business, and how did you raise that money?
Okay, absolutely. So when you have a business, anybody could have a business, really. And that is one of the secrets that they don't tell us in school, or that these real rich folks do not tell us. Anybody can have a business, and you can now, that gives you advantages as far as taxes. You can write off deductions, and there's so much accessibility when you have a business. And to start one, your own LLC, it could, that's a limited liability company. That is, if you have a business, people are not going to sue you. They're going to sue your business, and this way you're not in trouble. Essentially, you need about $1,000 to start that up, overhead costs and everything like that. Now, to actually start moving with your business, what are you going to need? Is it just going to be yourself, or is it going to be a team? Is it going to be a partner? Now that's where we start talking about paying, and you're giving the check instead of getting a check necessarily. And your check comes from investors. Your check comes from, selling products. Essentially, what we really need to do, and what I really needed to do, was work my ass off. And I'm sorry to say that word for any children, but I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot of work. And that is the one thing. I have a vision, and I'm continuing to push momentum towards that vision. And I have to work days and nights and all day and thinking about it, because it's something I really desire. And when people believe in you, that is how I raise my money. And that's the truth right there. When people believe in you, there are opportunities that are going to pop up. And when you see an opportunity, you take it. If it's the opportunity is something that it may not seem like you want to do, or it might not be your strong suit, try it. Ask for help, find a mentor, and try it.
And another thing too, as Black young people, this is a time where there are so many free resources out there. I actually am going to speak to a business coach tomorrow morning, and it's completely free. Wherever you are, you can look up free startup business resources. And Trish asks, how do you avoid imposter syndrome, especially as a young person, feeling that you don't belong? Well, as Black people, we have a long lineage of greatness in us. Yes. And I think just through the color of our skin alone, there's so much power there. So you are not an imposter. You are absolutely meant to be here. You have a right to be here. You have a lot of value to bring to the table, and just walking in your truth. And it's a daily thing. You got to tell yourself every day that I deserve to be here, that I'm not an imposter, that I have greatness to provide. It's a mental thing. But what Nick and Russell, what are your thoughts on that? And then we're going to move on to Ms. Lamb's questions on who are our financial and business role models, and community service as well.
So yeah, when it comes to like imposter syndrome, yeah, oh man, I know exactly how you feel. You don't necessarily feel like you're adequate in the eyes of everyone else, but those are all thoughts that yes, you may be experiencing, but you have to ignore them, because you know that yes, Monica is right. We have come from greatness, and we have the way that we do. And just remember that you're loved by the people that are in this group, as well as your family. And yeah, I think that's pretty much like it.
Yeah. And the biggest hurdle is just the first step. I'm telling you, once you do the first step, the second and the third get a lot easier. Every great person in the world started off with $1. They started off with a step. They started off with something, and it really requires a first step. And my next question to Russell, I wanted to ask, who are your financial and business role models? Like, who do you look up to? Who are you like, I would love to be like this person?
Yes, I was just responding to Tris and saying, with imposter syndrome, we all feel it. Mm-hmm. And having somebody to look up to is part of it. I don't think anybody became great just by themselves or without studying from another person. Look at Socrates and Galileo and all of these people. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. We all have people that we look up to. And the people that I look up to are, right in this room, Sabrina Lamb, I look up to her. I don't always look up necessarily to people who made a lot of money. I look up to people who really inspire me. And again, I mean, that would be Barack Obama. That would be, I wrote an entire list of people that I look up to. It was about 50 people, and I did this last week. Um, and I say all of this because you could learn honestly from anybody. You really can learn from anybody, and just learn what it is that you like and ask those sorts of questions. Because again, I could give you a list of 100 people who I really look up to, but figure out what it is that inspires you in those people. And um, even if you can't connect with them, say they're a huge celebrity or a star or business person, um, you can. There's so much out there on YouTube and watching videos. I do all of that.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube too. There's so much great value on YouTube. I mean, don't underestimate YouTube. Even this morning, I was watching a YouTube video on real estate. I learned today that you can buy a business. Did you know you could buy a business for save up the money and you can buy an already working business if it's like a laundromat or a bagel shop or, people sometimes they get older, their 60s and their 70s or however old they are. And they say, I don't want to run my business anymore. I'm going to sell my business. So you can buy a fully well-run business and take that on. So there's so much power in YouTube. So don't underestimate that. And Nick, can you answer this? I wanted to know, what are negative influences that affect your financial and prosperity future? What are things that negatively could impact you, or things that are happening in the world that
Negative influence.
yeah, that affect your financial and prosperity?
Believing that believing the hype. So like perfect example of this is like check cashing places. Like it sounds great on paper, but like they're taking a large portion of your money and then giving you the cash so you can put it somewhere else, instead of taking your cash, putting it in a place where it can gain a very small amount of interest, be guarded, and you're able to take it in and out whenever you need to. I mean, the choice is ultimately the person's, but I would consider the check cashing place just to be a negative influence, because you don't necessarily want to. It's not the best place to keep your money.
Yes, I agree with that. There's a lot of hype, especially when we go on our social medias, right? And everybody's a teacher. Everybody's trying to tell us something, and they're not always good for us. You have to ask, a certain amount of questions and understand, is this something that I want to commit myself to? And a lot of times we're going to make these mistakes, and sometimes you're going to be painful, expensive mistakes, but at least you learn from it. I'm not going to lie. You're going to learn from it one way or the other. Yeah.
So how do you inform and encourage your friends to be, financially strong and independent?
It's well, first off, not everybody wants to listen, and I've spent a lot of time trying to convince
That's
people
too true.
who do not want to listen, who don't want to learn. Like they're just going to continue doing what they want to do, and for those people, the choice is theirs. But you got to find those ears who are ready to learn, people who want to make that turn around. I think that's really important.
I also do agree.
Birthdays always work.
Birthdays?
Birthdays always work. Like if you're thinking about like an investment account for somebody, you'll just say, okay, I put like $25 in an account somewhere. Here's the username, password, it's all yours. And then it kind of just works, because they accept the financial knowledge, and like it's just like a great gift just to give somebody.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think I would agree with you, Nick. I've given some investment gifts before. Have you received investment gifts before? Like
when I was born, my one of my mother's friends gave me one share of Pfizer.
Wow.
And it was like a very, yeah, it was like a very smart investment. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like this is really all coming to play now. Um, but yeah,
What would you say to friends who
gifts.
don't, what would you say to
Yeah,
friends who don't have family support?
friends who don't have family support.
To friends who don't have.
Postmates, Uber, grind. Like, actually, no, you can open up an Acorn account right now with $5 and put in like $1 or two each day. And that the power of compound interest is going to, you know, still do something incredible for you. And that can still be a gift because it doesn't matter. It could be $1 or $5. It's all virtual. So, but yeah, that's definitely a way how you could start doing this right now.
Actually, and to piggyback off of that, the compound interest, it comes back to that feeling of you want it now and you want all of the money now, but you kind of just have to realize that things sort of do move very slow sometimes, and especially when you're starting out. Sometimes you need money to make money, they say that, but having a little bit of money can, I guess, be discouraging to some people.
Yeah.
And sometimes you really got to see like that first big break in order to be like, okay, I see where this is going. Have faith in where you want to go, where you want to see yourself. Don't take the shortcuts. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of those negative influences in life, and we've, I guess, all felt them. Take the smart way. Do the thing that you can do for 40, 50 years. And I mean, that could be, the stock market. People, for example, they want to buy the hype. They want to buy the GameStops, and they want to buy all of this stuff. It might work now, but it's not going to work later, and you might get burned later. So
Yeah, it's not sustainable. I would agree.
educate yourself.
And I would say for the last 5 minutes, just to wrap it up, what is one thing that after everything that we've shared, what is one thing that you want everyone to take away from this panel discussion?
Monica, you want to start actually?
Okay, I'll start. Yeah. I think one thing that I want everyone to really understand, number one, is the value of delayed gratification. Because we live in a society where you can pop something into the microwave for a minute and it comes out and it's fine, we're so used to getting things so quickly. So there's value in delayed gratification. Number two is I want everyone to consider buying some sort of real estate, even if you want to have a job and maybe own a home or something like that. There's going to be so much value. There's going to be so much wealth building in this place if we just all saw the value in just buying one home. You don't gotta go and buy 10 and 30,000, a million homes, just buying one. There's so much value in that. There's so much generational wealth that you can create with just one. And number three.
What if you think renting is easier than real estate, than buying something?
You know what? The truth is renting is easier. Some might say renting is easier, but you know who gained in the end? I did, because my tenants pay their rent every month, right? They pay $1,200, whatever their numbers are. And all of that money that they spent is gone. This apartment that I'm sitting in, I've lived here for 20 years, and I've probably spent $250,000 in rent over the lifetime of me living here. But do I have anything to show for it? Is there any ownership? Is there any equity in this beautiful apartment that I've lived in? There's zero equity. Once I leave, this money wasn't being planted, it was being spent, versus the hardship of a home. If I spent all that money in 20 years that I spent in rent, I could own this home free and clear and have some value to pass down to my family. I can't pass this apartment down because I don't own it. And so the number one thing I want everyone to understand is ownership. And so I want to flip that back to Nicholas. What is one key thing you want everyone to walk away with?
Your dollar is your vote. Wherever you choose to spend, any dollar that you go to, it's like, okay, um, Whole Foods or, Kraft mac and cheese. It doesn't necessarily matter. Your dollar is your vote.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you, Russell? What was your
Okay. So I believe, mainly in general, anybody that I mentor, it's be a learn a lot, or don't be a know-it-all, be a learn-it-all. And you want to continue learning. And first off, where you put your money, know where you're putting your money, know why you are putting your money, have intentions for your money. And I think constantly learning, and never kind of just sitting back and staying stagnant is that's the number one. Commitment and consistency is really it for me. Yeah. Thank
So
you, everybody.
thank you, everyone. Thank you. Clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up for this amazing panel. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us today. Now, to wrap everything up, Russell, Nick, where can everyone find you online, Instagram, TikTok? Where can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram at r_Fearon. And then my company Instagram is SUGEX, SUGEX.co. You were going to hear about me, and it stands for the Sugar Experience. We are enhancing the sugar experience. Once again, if you hear that term, I trademarked it.
Yes, trademark. And Nick, where can people find out more information? Actually,
oh yeah, y'all can find more information at what is it? Nikki Avelli Instagram. It's a Nikki Avelli underscore, and also crawfordnicholas.com. It's my
so Nick is gonna
I'll put
actually
that in
drop,
the
Nick is gonna drop it in the comment section. I also put my Instagram.
Yeah.
I've been doing TikToks about financial education. You know, gotta TikTok it out. Also on YouTube, we are sharing information on real estate and money. So subscribe to my channel. We're at 16,000 subscribers on there, almost 1 million views. So help me get that number to 20,000. And our fearless leader, welcome, drum roll, Sabrina Lamb. Woo woo. We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you still. You're muted. There we go. Woo.
There we go. Round of applause. Round of applause. World of Money Moguls. Nicholas, so proud of you, darling. Russell, always proud of you. Always proud of you, Monica. Everyone, so let's continue to lift the voices of our young people. They have so much to say. They want to achieve so much. And I know, Monica, Nicholas, and Russell, that you were an inspiration to the world, and more will come. So give yourselves a round of applause, World of Money Moguls. So today is the third event in a 4-part series on the history and future of Black wealth. And upcoming events in this series include Women's Entrepreneurial Accelerator, very, very important, on Wednesday, February 24th. Gonna put the link in the chat. And it's so important that you follow all of the amazing opportunities that the YWCA of Metropolitan Chicago provides. So you gotta follow us on social media. So just stand by. I'm gonna put that in here as well. And then would love for you to share this with your friends. And also, please follow worldofmoneyonline.org, as well as we are soon to announce our enrollment for our virtual World of Money Youth Financial Education Training Institute virtual. So no matter where you are in the world, sign sign up and we're going to have an amazing, powerful experience. So I'm going to put all this information in the chat so you can just share with everybody in the world. And thank you again so much. Again, Monica, Nicholas, Russell, I adore you and continue to inspire. Until next time, everyone, let's recite the World of Money motto: learn,
earn, save, invest,
Save,
and
invest,
donate.
and donate.
Bye.
Woo!